What is the definition of food? Take an orange, take a McDonald's burger. Which one do you think fulfills the definition of food? Because food, it doesn't really have a definition, but what the status quo, the majority of people will define food as, is something that can be eaten. Seems pretty obvious, right? If it's edible, a McDonald's burger is edible, an orange is edible, some part of the orange is edible, that means it's food. But I personally think the definition of food, and many, many, many other people think the definition of food, should be a little more narrowed down to only a few sort of particular set of things. Food should be something that nourishes you. It actually makes you full. McDonald's burgers, by the way, don't make you full. You'll eat a McDonald's burger and you'll want to eat something else like immediately afterwards. It doesn't satiate you because it doesn't contain actual food. The food isn't necessarily the fats, the proteins, the carbs, and the alcohols, the stuff that contributes calorifically. And while, yes, that is food, that makes you full, there's a whole other aspect of what food actually is that I'm going to get onto in a little bit. Because as I said, the McDonald's burger is a processed, ultra-processed, probably refined piece of junk. It's had every bit of goodness taken out of it. Yes, it's good if you're on a bulk, etc., etc. You can be in a calorie surplus easier because it's very energy dense. Whatever you want to say about that, an orange is more of a food than what a McDonald's burger is because of reasons that I'm going to talk about in a little bit as well. So to go back to what I think the definition of food could be, we've talked about the definition of food is that it nourishes you. It actually makes you full, unlike what a McDonald's burger would do to someone, unlike what sugary sweets, crisps, something that's really ultra processed would do to someone. It doesn't make you full, but it also nourishes your body. It doesn't just nourish your digestive system, it nourishes your internal system. Your digestive system and your blood system, your circulatory system, and all the other stuff that contributes to is like a separate thing. Stuff in your digestive system does different things in your digestive system than when it's in your bloodstream. Things act differently in those two different, almost otherworldly places of your body. They're almost two completely different planets inside of your skin. While a McDonald's burger may almost satiate your digestive system, it doesn't satiate the inside of your body because it doesn't contain real food. It doesn't actually nourish you. It doesn't make you full. A McDonald's burger won't last very quickly. It will just go straight through you. A little bit of it will be absorbed. But real food, an orange and apple, actual fruits, actual whole foods, they'll be absorbed, they'll be broken down because your body has the capacity to do that stuff because it's actually found inside of nature, and then it will be absorbed into all your muscles, into all your organs. That's when it actually can nourish you. It can give your body the sufficient things that it actually needs to be able to carry out the vital life-giving processes that exist inside of your body. It's such an interesting thing. When you are hungry, when your stomach starts to rumble, when your gut starts to rumble, it's your brain sending a signal to those particular muscle cells, to those particular cells in general, that we need something. We need some real food to actually be able to give us life and joy, and that can come in the form of the calorific macronutrients that I talked about earlier. We need energy. We need to be able to move. We need to be able to produce ATP to contribute to things like muscle contraction. But there's also a whole other aspect that's aside from calories. There's things that don't contribute calorifically. Your body will also beg and be hungry for vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, phytochemicals, flavonoids, all that stuff that was very complicated that you probably didn't understand if you were hearing that stuff for the first time, because that's the bit that's actually food. A McDonald's burger contains fats, proteins, carbs. Of course it does. It contains meat, it contains the cheese. Cheese is quite a fatty thing. Not that fat's like a really bad thing, it's just that cheese is something that generally contains quite a lot of fats. The buns, of course, that's going to contain some carbohydrates. Very, very refined carbohydrates, I must say, but it still contains carbohydrates. It's still going to be 4 calories per gram. And of course, the beef patty, if it's even beef, will be protein. So it gives you the macronutrients, it gives you the energy. It doesn't make you full. So why is that? If your body is begging for calories to be able to contribute to muscle contraction, and you eat a McDonald's burger, and then you're hungry still an hour later, clearly something is wrong. Clearly there's a whole nother layer to the equation that's not just the macronutrients that so many people put focus on. There's almost a pyramid to this thing, a pyramid of understanding in the fitness and health field. You've got your Calories in, calories out. You'll lose weight if you eat less calories than you burn in a particular day. Pretty easy for anyone that can understand maths. It's pretty easy for them to understand, right? Then you've got macronutrients. Then you've got, there's actually different things that contribute to different things calorifically. Fats, 9 calories per gram. Carbs, 4 calories per gram. Protein, about the same. And alcohols, 7 calories per gram. And there's a few other things that will contribute differently in different calorific terms. Things like uranium contain 1 billion calories or whatever, but obviously they're really rarely consumed in the diet, so they don't really matter. They're the 4 things that are commonly consumed, and so that's what I personally like to focus on when I'm sort of recording these videos. But if your body gets them when you eat a McDonald's burger, it's still begging for loads and loads of other things. So there's something that's missing, there's something that your body's missing. That is the vitamins, that is the minerals, that is the phytonutrients, that's the phytochemicals, that's the flavonoids. That's the massively complicated things that are almost impossible for even me to comprehend. You look at a molecule of vitamin B12, it's massive. There are molecules or monomers that are bigger than vitamin B12 that exist inside of real food. Because that molecule, that is real food. Your fats, they contribute to energy, but that is not real food because clearly, from the McDonald's burger example, it doesn't make you full. So it doesn't satiate you, it doesn't nourish you. There are things in McDonald's burger that is going to mean it's unhealthy for you, so it doesn't nourish you. This is the stuff that actually nourishes you. The vitamin B12, the vitamin B4, the B vitamins are energy producing vitamins because they actually are things that allow the calorific things to actually be produced and turned into and converted into ATP come the end of their metabolism. So they're very useful for the actual turning of these fats, these proteins, these carbs into energy. If you don't have any of them in the McDonald's burger, not much can really be done to actually turn these stuff into energy. So therefore, you don't even get that energy in the end. You just end up having to sort of suffer just eating and gaining weight without actually contributing to your exercise because you're not able to actually convert those calories into energy, which is an interesting thing. Then you've got things like vitamin A, D, C, vitamin E, K, the flavonoids, the phytonutrients, the complicated stuff that actually nourishes you. Because clearly, if your brain's still begging an hour after you have a McDonald's burger, you need something else. You eat an apple. That's another thing. I forgot to mention this in a video I made about an interesting story about an apple. But whenever I have an apple for breakfast, I have my breakfast, it's eggs, it's toast, it's avocado, it's some peanut butter, it's some spinach, etc. If I have that, which while things like toast, it's a bit more refined than the other stuff. When I used to just have eggs on toast, or whenever I used to just have cereal quite a while back, if I had an apple with that more so refined stuff, eggs are whole foods, but the bread, that's pretty refined. Cereal is pretty refined. If I used to have an apple or an orange or something with that breakfast, I would feel much more full for a longer period of time during the school day, during the day in general, than if I didn't have that apple, because that apple contains so many chemicals that not even any brilliant scientist can even possibly conceive of, because they're such complicated things that nature has birthed to us for us to be able to eat and consume that actually nourishes us. It gives us the internal things that we need to actually live and function like a proper human being that isn't just living off of a McDonald's burger, getting that little bit of energy every time it eats a fry. That's not how humans are supposed to live. We're supposed to live off these whole foods that actually contain real food. I find it a very interesting thing. Real food. What actually makes up real food? Because yeah, fats, proteins, carbs, alcohols, real food. It actually does contribute to your energy. If you had none of that, but you had loads of vitamins and stuff, you wouldn't be able to sort of live and function like a normal person. But if you had all of this and none of that, then you're also going to suffer. So it works both ways. You need an equal amount of both. But people don't understand that because of the whole sort of fitness understanding pyramid. Calories come first. Whereas I personally think when you are getting onto a health and fitness journey, the first thing that you need to be told is eat an apple every day. It's literally in the generic common saying. People just choose to sort of not listen to them and understand them, or for whatever reason they just choose to ignore them. It's literally in common sayings. Eat an apple every day. That's the first thing they should be told. And they should also be educated so that they can understand what is inside of an apple that is so good for them. All the phytonutrients, all the vitamins, all the flavonoids, all the good stuff that really contributes to them being full and satiated, and then they can actually understand the calories and fats and carbs and etc after that. I really do think micros should be the first things that someone who is looking to get into health and fitness should learn about, rather than calories, because while calories in, calories out is a very good basis, a mathematical understanding for how you're going to lose weight. If you eat more satiating food and you tell them that things like vitamins and minerals are very satiating things, you tell them that these flavonoids, these phytonutrients are very satiating things, they make you full essentially, and you tell them to eat them, they're going to naturally eat less calories because they are less hungry all of the time from eating such energy dense yet so nutritionally non-dense foods for the majority of the time. I personally think that's the way it should go, but we will see if I am big enough and influential enough to change that. So if you did watch to the end of this video, then I really appreciate it, because I do put a lot of effort into these videos. And with that, I recommend subscribing, because I like this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than they already have. And good luck.